welcome to GemChem. Now today's video is on solutions and colligative properties, and here we are going to deal with Raoult's law and Henry's law. Already 2 videos are uploaded in channel on solutions and colligative properties. You can watch it. I will give the link in the description box as well as the I button present above this video. And if you are new to GemChem, do not forget to subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon for regular updates. Now let us start. Now this Raoult's law is applicable for solvent and solution, and it states that partial vapor pressure of solvent over solution in equilibrium at T Kelvin is equal to the product of mole fraction of the solvent in the solution and partial vapor pressure of the solvent in the pure state at T Kelvin. Now what is vapor pressure is already dealt with in liquid state video as well as the previous parts of solutions. You can watch it. I will give the link in the description box as well as the I button present above this video. Now this Raoult's law states that our partial vapor pressure of solvent over solution is equal to product of the mole fraction of the solvent in solution and the partial vapor pressure of solvent in its pure state when it is not present in a solution but only solvent is present. This is the pure state, right? Now we need to derive this Raoult's law. So if we consider this equilibrium, then at constant temperature we can see that the rate of vaporization of solvent into its vapor phase is almost equal to the rate of condensation of the solvent in the vapor phase to the solution phase. That is, the amount of vapor formation and the amount of liquid formation by condensation is equal. Now if we consider rate of vaporization is proportional to x1, that is the mole fraction of the solvent, whereas rate of condensation is proportional to P1, that is the vapor pressure, partial vapor pressure of the solvent in solution, then we can write kVx1, that is, here in this case we are taking the proportionality constant as kV, and in the next case we are taking the proportionality constant as kc, and by using this part we can write kVx1 equals to kcP1. Now x1 by P1 if we take, then it is kc by kV, and if x1 is considered to be 1, then in that case only solvent molecules are present in the solution. No solute is present. So there only partial vapor pressure of solvent in pure state will be present. So P1 will become equal to P1 star. So we just substitute it in place of Kc by Kv and we get x1 by P1 equals to 1 by P1 star. And ultimately the Raoult's law is being derived. So this was an easy derivation which comes in exam, right? Now this is the graph. If you see this, this is the graph of Raoult's law. As we are increasing the x1, then it's increasing and finally the intercept is P1 star where there is only pure solvent and the slope is also P1 star. This is a straight line passing through the origin with positive slope, and this Henry's law and Raoult's law is followed by ideal gas, and when solution is considered to be as non-ideal, that is non-ideal, then in that case we will see that P1 is either greater than x1 P1 star or less than P1 x1 P1 star for non-ideal case, right? Now we will see Henry's law. Now this particular law deals with the solubility of gas in liquid solvent to make a solution at constant temperature. So here we are dealing with a gas present above the liquid and its solubility is being checked using Henry's law. Now pure liquid is taken in a closed vessel and the gas taken above it. After attainment of the equilibrium, pressure of the gas now decreases from the one previously. Thus we can conclude that some of the gas dissolved in the liquid. So here pressure application has also been decreased and this process is spontaneous, right? Now this Henry's law has few versions, and one first of the version is that this one. At equilibrium and at constant temperature, the mass of the gas dissolved in unit volume of liquid is proportional to the equilibrium pressure of the gas over the solution. That is, if we consider m is the mass in gram of gas dissolved and equilibrium pressure of the gas is P2, then m is proportional to P2 and the proportionality constant is taken as capital K1, and this K1 value depends on nature of gas solute, nature of liquid solvent and temperature, and this has definite dimension and unit, and this is the first version of Henry's law, and the primary definition of Henry's law is this one, right? So what it tells that the mass of gas which is dissolved in unit volume of liquid is proportional to the pressure of the gas which gas is applying over the solution, right? Now we will see the second version. So in this second version we are getting Henry's law in terms of concentration. Now C1, if it is a molar concentration of gas in solution at equilibrium at T Kelvin, then M, that is mass of gas dissolved, is directly proportional to C1, and C2 is equals to molar concentration of gas over the solution at equilibrium. So this is the concentration of gas over the solution at equilibrium, right? So this will be P2 equals to C2 RT, and we consider that the gas over the solution at equilibrium behaves ideally. Now we use equation 1. What was our equation 1 previously? Our equation 1 was like this: M by P2 equals to K1, right? Now in case of M, we can write it as a constant small k1 C1 by C2 RT equals to K1. Now if we take all the things in the right hand side except C1 and C2, then we get K1 RT by small k1. So this is what is obtained in the equation 2, right? Now this total part, that is what we get in the right hand side, is also a constant multiplied by constant, that is temperature is also constant, R is our gas constant, K1 is constant, and small k1 is also constant. So ultimately we take it total as K2, capital K2, and this is also a constant, but in this case this constant is dimensionless and unitless since it is the resultant of the ratio of two concentrations, right? So unit gets cancelled. Now the third version is about volume. Let the volume of the gas having mass in gram be V at constant pressure P2 and temperature T Kelvin. So from ideal gas behavior we can write P2V equals to, this is the mole number, that is small m by capital M. Capital M is the molar mass of the gas, RT. And from the equation 1 we can write it like this: V equals to K1 RT by M equals to K3. So see this one, we have from equation 1 M by P2, and here value of M comes to be as P2 Vm by RT into 1 by P2, right? And this P2 and this P2 gets cancelled. So ultimately we get equals to Vm by RT equals to K1, and on further doing the work we get this one, and the value of M, that is molar mass, is also constant for a gas. So ultimately the total thing becomes a constant which is taken as K3, and K3 is another constant having a dimension and a unit, right? Now the fourth version is that X2 is the mole fraction of gas dissolved and M is directly proportional to the X2. So by equation 1 we can write X2 by P2 equals to K4, and ultimate Henry's equation is P equals to X2K, where K is Henry's law constant and its dimension is as same as that of pressure. Now we will see the plot of Henry's law and Raoult's law together. Now see this one. This is the plot where P1 and P2 is taken, and this part shows X1 and X2, X1 and X2, right? Now this position at this side, it behaves as solvent, and in this position it is mostly solute, remember this. So now if you consider the graphs, then this is the graph for P2 versus X2, whereas this graph is for P1 versus X1, and we see that the intercepts is P1 star and K, and the ultimate aim was to see the normal graph, and it looks like this somewhat. So very close to 0, this main gases behaves as solute and follows Henry's law, whereas very close to 1, it follows Raoult's law and behaves as solvent, right? And in a binary homogeneous solution, there are two components, right? Liquid solvent and solvent. So x1 and x2 on addition gives us 1. When x1 tends to 1, the solution is dilute solution, that is only solvent. So it obeys Raoult's law, and the solute present in it at that time has x2 nearly to 0 and follows Henry's law. So this is important, and the solution which follows both the law are ideally dilute solution. Okay, now remember, this is very important and both should be followed in order to become an ideally dilute solution. Now if we want to summarize, then what is it? For Raoult's law and for Henry's law. For Raoult's law and Henry's law. So Raoult's law states that P1, small p1 equals to x1 p1 star, and this is applicable for solvent. Whereas for Henry's law, it is applicable to solute. P2 equals to x2k and applicable to solute, right? Here k depends on temperature, nature of liquid, solvent and gas. Nature of liquid, solvent and gas. Whereas in this case, here the intercept which we get is k, whereas in this case intercept is P1 star. Intercept is our P1 star, right? And P1 star also depends on temperature, and nature of liquid solvent. Nature of liquid solvent, right? So this much for today. Hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe and comment.